Recently, Senator Ned Nwoko made a statement that's getting everyone talking. He said releasing Nnamdi Kanu will restore peace in the Southeast. And honestly, this statement has stirred a lot of reactions across the country. People are asking, can this really bring peace? Some say yes, others say it's not that simple. But let's break it down and talk about what's really happening. And please, before we go deep into this matter, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our updates, because we always bring you real-time stories with clarity and truth. Now, Senator Ned Nwoko is not just anybody. He's a known political figure, a lawyer, a businessman, and now a senator. He has a history of speaking his mind, and when he talks, people listen. So when he said that releasing Nnamdi Kanu would bring back peace to the Southeast, it became the talk of the town. He believes that keeping Kanu in detention is doing more harm than good, and that it's time for the government to take a bold step if they really want peace to return to the region. According to Ned Nwoko, Kanu's release would not just calm things down, but also open the door for dialogue, understanding, and reconciliation. He said the continuous detention of the IPOB leader is fueling anger, frustration, and division among people who already feel marginalized. He believes the government can use this opportunity to rebuild trust and start something new in the Southeast. Now, if you've been following what's going on, you'll know that Nnamdi Kanu's name is not new in Nigerian politics. He is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, known as IPOB, and his movement has been one of the biggest in the country in recent years. But his arrest, detention, and long-running court case have kept tensions high in the region. Recently, there have been protests, both in Abuja and in parts of the Southeast, where supporters are calling for his release. The police even had to disperse crowds with tear gas and make several arrests. It's been tense. Now, let's pause here a bit. If you're still with me, please remember to like this video and subscribe, because this kind of gist is what we bring you every day, straight and simple. So back to the matter. Ned Nwoko is saying that the longer Kanu stays behind bars, the more the problem will grow. He believes the government needs to handle this issue with wisdom, not just with power. According to him, the best way to calm things down is to show mercy and open the door for peace. He even linked this idea to his call for the creation of a new state, a Neoma state, which he says will help address the feeling of exclusion many people in the region have. This is an interesting point because Ned Nwoko is not only talking about Kanu's release, he's also talking about structural change, something that could balance representation and give people a sense of belonging. To him, this is not just about freeing one man. It's about fixing a long-standing issue that has caused anger and agitation in the Southeast. Now, some people agree with him. They say if Kanu is released, there will be celebration, the sit-at-home tension will reduce, and people can start living normal lives again. They believe peace will naturally follow once that happens, but others are not so sure. They think releasing Kanu without addressing the deeper causes of the unrest might only calm things temporarily. They say there are still economic issues, security concerns, and feelings of neglect that must be handled too. Let's be honest, peace is not something that comes overnight. The Southeast has been through a lot, from security challenges to economic struggles, and people are tired. But if the government truly wants to rebuild trust, they need to show compassion. Many believe releasing Kanu will be a symbol of goodwill. It will show that the government is listening, not fighting its own citizens. And if we look at what's happening now, you'll notice that the courts have been handling Kanu's case slowly. There have been adjournments, protests, and even legal drama between his lawyers and the government. His defense recently complained that some of his case files were withheld, which delayed his preparation. All this shows how complicated this matter has become. Please, if you're finding this story interesting, remember to like this video and subscribe so that more people can see it too. Now, Ned Nwoko's statement came at a time when many Nigerians are tired of the endless back and forth. His message is simple. Let's stop fighting and start fixing. He believes peace can't grow where there's bitterness, And that forgiveness is part of nation building. It's a message many people agree with, especially as the region continues to face hardship. But there are also concerns. Some security experts believe that releasing Kanu might encourage radical voices or embolden other groups to make similar demands. They fear it could weaken the rule of law if it's seen as a political move. On the other hand, others argue that peace is worth taking that risk, that Kanu's release could actually weaken the more extreme voices because the government would be showing a humane side. There's also a political angle to all of this. Some people believe Ned Nwoko is not just speaking as a peace advocate, but also positioning himself for future influence. That's politics. People always have motives, but whatever his reason, his message is resonating with many Nigerians who are simply tired of detention. And let's not forget, there's a lot happening in Nigeria at once. The country is facing economic challenges, high prices, and social unrest in different areas. Many citizens just want a sense of calm. So when someone like Ned Nwoko says, release Kanu and peace will come, it sounds like a simple solution to a big problem. But can it really work? That's the question. If the government decides to release Kanu, it won't just be about one man walking free. It will be about whether Nigeria is ready to start a new chapter of dialogue, inclusion, and healing. It will test the leadership's commitment to unity and peace. But if they decide not to, the protests, anger, and mistrust might continue, maybe even worsen. So it's a delicate balance. The best way forward, as many have said, is a peaceful one, built on justice, fairness, and open conversation. Everyone wants peace in the Southeast. The people want to go to work without fear. Traders want to open their shops. Children want to go to school freely. Nobody benefits from endless unrest. That's why voices like Ned Nwoko's are getting attention. And again, if you're following this story and you want more updates like this, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss what's next, because the situation is changing fast. Now, looking ahead, there's still the big question. What will the government do? Will they listen to Ned Nwoko's call? Will they consider releasing Kanu and giving peace a chance? Or will they continue to push through the courts and security measures? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. The people of the Southeast want peace, and they deserve it. It's time for both the government and leaders from the region to come together, not just to talk, but to...
Then something would have been done for them. You know, yes, they are clamoring for different things, but, I mean, not least, of course, the release of Nnamdi Kanu. They're asking for it. We know that that is something that has to be done. You know, you would just say...
Nnamdi Kanu to be...
Oh, yes, yeah, of course.
Why do you think so?
Nnamdi Kanu has been in custody for some time now. I believe that he has been held unjustly. Many people feel that way.
As a lawyer, do you think so?
Oh, yes, yes.
That the judicial process is unjust?
Yes, yeah, no, it has been, there's a lot of delays in prosecuting him and all that. If you want to get him
to act. Releasing Kanu could be one big step, but it must come with genuine dialogue and development efforts. And that's where we'll keep our eyes, because this story is still unfolding. Please, before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because we'll be bringing you more real-time updates as this story continues to develop. Your engagement helps this channel grow and helps more people hear the truth in a simple, clear way. Now let's look deeper into how this whole thing could actually play out if the government listens to Ned Nwoko and decides to release Nnamdi Kanu. Imagine the announcement comes out one morning. Federal government agrees to release Nnamdi Kanu as part of peace process. You already know what will happen. The whole Southeast will come alive with celebration. People will dance in the streets, markets will open wide, and there will be joy everywhere. For many, it will feel like the end of a long struggle. But after that first excitement, the real work will begin. Because releasing Kanu alone will not solve everything if the deeper problems that caused the agitation are not addressed. People in the Southeast have been calling for better roads, jobs, infrastructure, and fair treatment in national politics. So, yes, releasing Kanu could bring peace for a while, but maintaining that peace will require real development and government presence in those communities. Ned Nwoko himself mentioned something very important: the creation of Anioma State. He believes that adding a new state in that area will balance things politically and make people feel included. Right now, the Southeast has the smallest number of states compared to other regions, and that's part of why many people feel left out. So for Nwoko, it's not just about freeing Kanu, but also about fixing that imbalance. If Anioma State becomes reality, it could change a lot politically and economically for the people of that zone. And please, if you're still watching this, take 1 second to like this video and subscribe. That's how we keep this kind of conversation alive and growing. Now, if we look at the government side, they have their own worries too. They believe that keeping Kanu in custody is important for national security. They argue that IPOB's activities have caused violence in some areas and that the courts must finish their process before any release can happen. It's a legal issue, yes, but at the same time, it has turned into a political and emotional one. That's where Ned Nwoko's suggestion becomes complicated. It's easy to say release him, but it must be done carefully so it doesn't create more confusion. One of the things people are saying is that if the government truly wants peace, they can start by allowing open dialogue, bring together leaders from the Southeast, religious figures, youth groups, and traditional rulers to talk about what peace really means and how it can be achieved. Because peace cannot be forced. It has to be agreed upon and nurtured. You know, many Nigerians, not just from the Southeast, are watching how this issue unfolds. They understand that if the Southeast becomes peaceful again, it will help the whole country's economy too. Investors will return, businesses will grow, and people will move freely. But if the tension continues, it affects everyone. So, in a way, Kanu's case is not just about one man or one region. It's about the future stability of Nigeria itself. Now, let's talk about what's been happening around the court case. The last few weeks have been filled with protests in Abuja. People have been coming out calling for Kanu's release. The police have had to intervene several times to control crowds. It shows how emotional this issue has become. The court recently adjourned the trial again, giving more time for its defense team to prepare. Many see these delays as part of a larger political game, while others believe it's just the legal system doing its job. And before we go further, if you're enjoying this discussion, don't forget to like this video and subscribe right now. That small click helps us keep going and reach more people like you who want balanced, clear updates. Now think about this. If Kanu is finally released, what will that mean for his supporters? Some people say it will bring them hope and calm, but others worry it might cause division among different groups. There are already smaller factions with different leaders, especially those outside the country. So the government will have to manage communication very carefully to make sure the release leads to peace, not fresh confusion. Ned Nwoko's message is basically this: peace cannot come from fear or force. It has to come from understanding. He's asking the government to be bold to do something that shows real leadership and empathy. Many Nigerians agree with this idea because the country is already facing too many challenges: insecurity, inflation, unemployment, and nobody wants another conflict. The truth is, what people really want is progress. They want to wake up, go to work, earn money, send their children to school, and live without fear. That's why peace in the Southeast is not just about politics. It's about people's daily lives. Every time there's a lockdown or protest, traders lose income, transporters can't move, and families suffer. So, if Kanu's release can help end all that, then it's something worth considering seriously. And again, if you're finding this gist interesting, please like this video and subscribe. It keeps you connected to more updates like this one. Now, let's look at how this could affect President Tinubu's administration. If he decides to take Ned Nwoko's advice and release Kanu, it could earn him respect from many people who will see it as an act of maturity and peace building. It could improve his image, especially in the southeast, where his government still struggles to gain trust. But if he refuses, the agitation might continue, and that could make things more difficult politically. So whichever decision he takes, it will have a big impact. But let's not forget, peace takes more than one decision. Even if Kanu walks free tomorrow, there must be real development to follow. The roads, schools, hospitals and jobs people are asking for must be provided. That's the only way the region can truly heal. Otherwise, frustration will grow again and we'll be back to square one. You know, sometimes in Nigeria, we focus too much on political drama and forget the human side. There are millions of people in the southeast who just want a normal life. They are tired of detention. So when Ned Nwoko says, release Kanu and peace will return, he's also speaking for ordinary people who are exhausted and simply want relief.